The Dodgers pull a swerve at the winter meetings and add the best closer available. Once again, LeBron James trade rumors have to be debunked. And Troy Aikman won't break out his ATM card to help UCLA in NIL. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is December 10th, 2025. Welcome back to Ice Station Alpha in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hey, do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we have a quick look at the scoreboard. USC basketball 94, Slime Diego 81. Meanwhile, today, San Antonio's at the Lakers at 7. Marcus Smart plans to return tonight. And the Kings are at Seattle, also at 7. So with that out of the way, let's get to the news. We've got a ton to talk about, starting with the Dodgers. For the second consecutive offseason, the Dodgers have broken out the checkbook, the piggy bank, the Bitcoin, whatever, to add the best closer on the open market. Edwin Diaz leaves the Mets. He's coming to the Champs for $69 million over 3 years. And I find this move exceptionally curious because it is so un-Andrew Friedman. Look, I confess I was wrong. I thought the Dodgers would not make a major move during the winter meetings. But before we discuss the signing in depth, I want to check my work with you to show you why this move is so surprising. What do we know about the Dodger president? The guy who is literally, they have a GM, but let's be real. Andrew Friedman's making all the decisions. Well, we know he was reluctant to pay through the nose for relievers before. Why? Because relievers can lose their mojo at any time. Amazeballs one day, DOA the next. 2, it is easier to take a reliever who has been struggling with another team, teach them a new pitch in the minors, and watch them blow up. It has worked before. It worked for Blake Trinan. It worked for Evan Phillips. 3, Friedman eventually broke with his own beliefs last offseason. He went overboard on the bullpen, and it all blew up in his face. Tanner Scott, untouchable as a closer. And then he signs with the Dodgers. And then Friedman had a contingency plan. He's like, hey, even if Scott implodes, which we don't see happening, I'll just add another closer in Kirby Yates. Not only did Scott implode, they are still scraping up the remains of Yates' career off the freeway. Hell, Friedman even traded for Brock Stewart at the trade deadline, and the dude didn't even finish the season. So from that, I deduced that the Dodgers would go back to the process that worked for them in the past. Wait out the market, see what's available, to see who you can groom to pitch in the later innings. And if that didn't work, maybe Brusdar Graterol or Alex Vesia could excel in the ninth. Or you make a trade then. Now, as for the guy coming in, Diaz strikes out a ton of guys. With his slider, he walks very few. He's a 3-time All-Star and converted 28 out of 31 save opportunities last year. ESPN gives the move an A. But with that said, I'm not as bullish on this deal as the scribes are. Go back to ESPN. This does not make sense. The first thing the scribe writes, it's not a good idea to sign a reliever to a long-term contract, but it's the Dodgers. So what? So what? Look what happened again to Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates. So, that doesn't make a lick of sense. Obviously, the numbers are there for Diaz. He was amazeballs in Queens. If I were to speculate where my rationale went wrong, it's that the Mets signed former Yankees closer Devin Williams, and maybe Diaz is sitting there to himself thinking, there aren't too many teams that can offer what the Mets could offer, and they signed that guy. My brother Alexis told me playing in LA is cool, but yeah, give that team a shot. They can pay me. But again, will it work? Because every reliever for the Dodgers flamed out last year. There's a reason why the Dodgers relied so heavily on their starters during the playoffs. There's a reason why Yoshinobu Yamamoto got the final out in Game 7. Why Roki Sasaki was a closer for the first couple of series. What this all tells me is this is the glitch in the Dodger matrix. A fly in the ointment, a monkey in the wrench, whatever you want to call it. Relievers go south now when they join the Dodgers. And unless the Dodgers have addressed why they have produced such terrible results handling relievers, there is a very good chance that what happened with Scott, that what happened with Yates, Stewart, and Michael Kopech will happen with Diaz. There's a good chance of that. And that's not hating. I'd love to get a three-peat Dodger championship lid. Been a fan of the Dodgers since I was a child. Friedman talked about the golden age of Dodger baseball. We are living in it, and it's damn good. That's just logic, though, about what's going on with the relievers. The LA Times spoke of this move as transformative. If they have addressed what is wrong with the bullpen overall, it is transformative. If they didn't, he's going to flame out. It is what it is. Let me know, of course, what you think in the comments thread. The Dodgers have also signed former Twins manager Rocco Baldelli as a special assistant to Friedman. The two have history. Baldelli played in Tampon Bay while Friedman worked there. LeBron James's agent went on a podcast I don't listen to and said, "Guys, these trade rumors are getting ridiculous, even for me." Asked if James is going elsewhere this season, Rich Paul said, quote, "No." Where is he gonna go? That's wishful thinking from New York. Does LeBron make the Knicks better? Yes. Yeah, he would, of course. But 29 other teams would say the same thing, unquote. By the way, James also has a no-trade clause in his current contract. So in other words, for the Lakers to even want to make a trade, which, by the way, they don't, Paul's agent would have to be like, yeah, this is great. I'll get my client to sign off on the deal. So, will this finally end LeBron James trade rumors? Of course not. Of course not. Now, Paul also said something that will bother some Laker fans. He said that the team is not a title contender. This guy may be a little bit too cutthroat for my taste right there. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying the Lakers are better than Oklahoma City. Let's not get that twisted. We can all thank the Clippers for why the Thunder are so damn good. But being second in the Western Conference does not translate to we have no hope. UCLA legend Troy Aikman is more than happy to help the Bruins in any way possible except NIL. Now, it's not that he's having trouble paying the rent. He's not even having a problem compensating players in principle. But the NIL experience just came off as subsidizing entitled spoiled brats. Quote, "I gave money to a kid. I won't mention who. I've done it one time at UCLA. Never met the young man. He was there a year. He left after the year. I wrote a sizable check and he went to another school. I didn't even get so much as a thank you note. So it's one of those deals to where I'm done with NIL. I want to see UCLA be successful, but I am done with that," unquote. He's right. Even if you don't get a TY text on your phone, you got money from an NFL Hall of Famer. The guy on Monday Night Football paid your rent. You don't even want to meet him? You ran like hell. You don't even want, not even the thank you thing. If I had a chance to meet Troy Aikman, I would in a heartbeat, and I like USC. Who wouldn't want to meet Troy Aikman? So yeah, entitled, spoiled brats. There's no other way to spin that. How do you build a program if you cut a big check and the dude splits after a couple of months? That's what UCLA could be up against, regardless of who coaches. I tell you this much, if O.J. Simpson were still alive, you could be damn skippy that some USC players are going to be like, thank you, don't kill me, thank you. Also at UCLA, Javonte Ford, a 3-star center from Cedar Grove High School in Ellenwood, Georgia, announced on Instagram that he is coming to UCLA to play basketball. He is the first high school player to commit to the Bruins program in more than a calendar year. He fits Cronin's style in the sense that he plays with a little bit of grit, that he's defense first. When you look at him, though, you're like, this guy's a center? Because he's only 5'9". Clippers coach Ty Lue denied accusations that he was no longer speaking with Chris Paul, and I don't care. I mean, what kind of junior high school drama is this becoming? Right? Meanwhile, Paul said he's at peace with it all now that he gets to spend time with his family. And from where I'm sitting, yes, please stay at peace. I mean, I've had the opinion that Paul and James Harden got into it, but now I don't even care if I'm right. We may never know the entire story about why Chris Paul and the Clippers just disintegrated into the mist. And you know what? I don't care. I just don't. Look, Chris Paul is 41. If he stays retired, people are going to totally forget this. All they're going to remember is Lob City, that he got to an NBA Finals. He just had the unfortunate reality of going up against the Bucks when Giannis was in his prime. If Charles Barkley can live with having a Hall of Fame career and no ring, so can Chris Paul. Turn the page. The Rams have waived edge rusher Nick Hampton, who contributed 10 tackles in 12 games this season with 112 snaps on defense and 194 on special teams. I have no idea why I counted the snaps. I got bored. Hampton had like a little bit of impact in Sunday's game against Arizona. The UFL awaits, my bruh. And LAFC has exercised its option to keep midfielder Mathieu Croiner. He will be in LA through 2028 with an option for another year. He joined the club in July from Grasshopper. Yeah. Somebody on the planet named their team after an insect or a cocktail, whatever. But the dude came on to stabilize a midfield that had lost a lot of talent in the last couple of years. They're not saying if he's playing a bigger role, but the fact of the matter is they at least have somebody to play that role. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about if you think the Dodgers have even bigger game in mind with the rest of the winter meetings. For that matter as well, You think LeBron is finally no longer going to be traded? And if you enjoyed the update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We are talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corte El Queso production. Take care.